In the sleepy Oregon suburb of Maple Hollow, nothing ever happened. The most excitement the neighborhood saw was the occasional lost dog or a backyard barbecue that ran past 9 p.m. It was a place where people left their doors unlocked and children rode their bikes until the streetlights flickered on. But on October 18, 1999, everything changed, and the town was never the same again. That was the day Daniel Whitaker, a quiet, bright-eyed 9-year-old boy, vanished. 3 o'clock, 3:35 p.m. after school. Daniel had taken the same route home from Maple Hollow Elementary for over a year. It was a simple walk, 3 blocks down Jefferson Street, a right on Briar Lane, and then his family's red brick house, 3rd on the left. He'd waved to Mrs. Langley, the elderly neighbor who always watered her garden around 3:30 and sometimes stopped to pet her cat, Clover. That day, Mrs. Langley remembered waving to Daniel as he passed. He smiled at her. Nothing unusual. He turned into his driveway, pulled out the house key from his backpack, and unlocked the front door. It was 3:42 p.m. That was the last confirmed sighting of Daniel Whitaker. Daniel's mother, Karen Whitaker, called the house from her office. She just wanted to check if he'd remembered to bring in the recycling bins from the curb, his one chore. No answer. She didn't panic. He was probably watching cartoons or pouring himself a bowl of cereal. Maybe the phone was on silent. At 4:10 p.m., Karen pulled into the driveway. She immediately knew something was wrong. The front door was wide open. Daniel's backpack was lying in the hallway. His sneakers were by the door. The television was on, still playing the afternoon cartoon lineup. But the house was silent. No Daniel. She searched every room, then the backyard. Nothing. By 4:23 p.m., she was on the phone with police. Within the hour, officers had cordoned off the house. Neighbors gathered on the sidewalks, whispering and watching. Police dogs were brought in. Helicopters scanned the wooded park nearby, and missing person flyers with Daniel's school photo, a toothy grin and messy brown hair, were posted on every lamppost within 10 miles. The problem? No one saw anything. No suspicious vehicles. No strange adults near the house. No sounds of a struggle. It was as if Daniel had simply disappeared. But there was one thing, one chilling detail. A single, small handprint was found inside the back window. Too high for Daniel to have reached. Too large to be his. And no fingerprints matched anyone in the family's circle. Police couldn't explain it. Days turned to weeks. The media descended on Maple Hollow. News trucks lined the street. Everyone wanted answers, but there were none. A classmate of Daniel's came forward and claimed he had seen Daniel get into a dark green car with someone wearing a hat. Police questioned him for hours, but then he confessed he made it up for attention. False leads, dead ends. Karen Whitaker went on national television pleading for her son's return. "We just want him home," she said, her voice cracking. But as the months passed, hope faded, and Maple Hollow learned to live with the silence. In 2006, just when the case had long grown cold, a letter arrived at the Whitaker home. No return address, no stamps. It had been dropped into the mailbox by hand. Inside was a single Polaroid photo. It showed a young boy, maybe 9 or 10, sitting in what looked like a basement, pale, thin, staring directly at the camera. His hands were bound. A calendar on the wall behind him read, October 1999. On the back of the photo were 4 words, scrawled in red ink. "You stopped looking, didn't you?" Police reopened the case immediately. Was it a hoax? A cruel trick? Or was Daniel still alive? The image was sent to the FBI. Forensic experts analyzed every pixel. The boy's identity couldn't be confirmed, but something about the eyes, the shape of his jaw, left Karen Whitaker frozen. "It's him," she whispered. "I know my son." Using the postmark and surveillance cameras from surrounding homes, police tried to trace who delivered the letter. A neighbor's motion camera caught a blurry figure, tall, wearing a hoodie, moving quickly in the early morning hours. The FBI launched a digital manhunt. Profile was created, and for the first time in years, the case had momentum again. A deeper dive into the original crime scene revealed that an ex-construction worker who briefly worked in the neighborhood back in 1999 had never been questioned. His name? Marcus Delaney, arrested twice before for attempted abductions. He lived just 2 towns away. When police tried to visit his last known address, the house had been abandoned for years. And that's when a second letter arrived. This time, it was addressed to Karen directly. "You were so close once, but you stopped." Inside was a piece of red cloth. Police labs later confirmed. It matched the shirt Daniel had been wearing the day he vanished. Just 2 months after the second letter, a strange live stream appeared on an old YouTube account that hadn't posted since 2010. It showed a dark room, a single chair, a chain hanging from the ceiling. No faces, no sounds, just a clock on the wall. And the ticking grew louder over time. The live stream lasted exactly 9 minutes. Then it cut to black. The channel was deleted moments later. Was Daniel still alive? Had someone kept him hidden for years? Was the live stream a signal, a cry for help, or something far more sinister? And why did the letters start again? After all this time, authorities believed they were closer than ever. But when they searched a nearby rural property linked to Marcus Delaney, what they found would shake them to their core. The closer they got, the stranger it became. The rural property tied to Marcus Delaney, the ex-construction worker with a dark history, was hidden deep in the Oregon wilderness. A 2-acre stretch of land swallowed by pine trees and silence. The last time anyone saw Delaney was 2003, when he abruptly quit a roofing job in Idaho and disappeared. But a records check revealed the land was still in his name. The FBI and state police launched a full-scale search. Drones swept overhead. Dogs combed the dense underbrush. And behind the crumbling remains of an old storage shed, partially buried beneath brush and rotting timber, they found it. A trapdoor. It led to a cellar, small, dark, cold. On the floor were rusted chains, scraps of cloth. A child's drawing pinned to the wall with a nail. It was a picture of a red house. Next to it, in shaky handwriting, "Mom, I miss you." Forensics moved fast. The drawing was scanned, tested for DNA. A few strands of hair collected from the dusty mattress inside the hidden room produced a partial match, enough to confirm what Karen Whitaker feared and hoped for at the same time. Daniel had been there. But when? And where was he now? In the far corner of the cellar, investigators uncovered a shoebox wrapped in layers of black electrical tape. Inside were 3 Polaroids. 2 were of the same boy from the earlier anonymous letter. But the third was different. It showed 2 boys, both pale, dirty, dressed in similar clothes. In the background, the same calendar from 1999. This wasn't just about Daniel. Detectives pored through missing child reports and quickly matched the second boy in the photo to a 10-year-old named Nolan Price, who vanished from a nearby town in 2001, walking home from a soccer game. His case had gone cold almost immediately. Now, it seemed Daniel wasn't the only child taken. A horrifying pattern emerged. Every 2 years, a young boy had vanished within a 50-mile radius, always between the ages of 8 and 11, always walking home, always between 3 and 5 p.m. Whoever was behind it had a ritual, a system, and they had been operating undetected for over a decade. As the search expanded across the Delaney property, a break came when cadaver dogs alerted to a hollowed-out area beneath a pile of cement blocks. There, officers uncovered an old, rusted toolbox. Inside, a waterproof bag containing a laptop and 2 hard drives. The laptop was dead, but the drives held something far darker than police expected. Dozens of folders, each labeled with a name, each containing images, recordings, diary entries of children, their schedules, school routes, family photos taken from a distance. Daniel's folder was the largest, and in it, one video stood out. It was dated October 18th, 1999, the day Daniel vanished. The footage showed Daniel entering his home, dropping his backpack. Moments later, a tall figure, face obscured by a ski mask, appeared from the hallway and placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. Daniel froze. The screen went black. But then, a new clip began, dated 5 days later. Daniel was in a dimly lit room. His voice could be heard asking, "Can I call my mom now?" A man's voice responded, calm and chilling, "You don't have a mom anymore. You have me." When Karen Whitaker was shown the video, she collapsed. Even after years of pain and silence, nothing had prepared her for hearing her son's voice. Older, scared, desperate. But what haunted her the most? He was still polite, still her sweet boy, still saying please when he asked to go home. Among the files recovered, police found a receipt dated February 2007, years after the last known sighting, from a hardware store in Wyoming, signed under the alias Mark D. It matched Marcus Delaney's known handwriting. A week later, a tipster in rural Wyoming called the local sheriff's office. He had recognized Delaney from a flyer, said he'd seen someone matching that description buying bulk groceries every 2 weeks at dawn. Investigators descended on the area, and what they found was another property. But this one wasn't abandoned. When SWAT surrounded the cabin, it was quiet. No lights, no smoke from the chimney, no movement. They breached the door. Inside was chaos. Dirty floors, mattresses on the ground, chains bolted to the wall, bottled water and canned food stacked in rows. But no Marcus Delaney, and no children. On the floor was a handwritten note, taped to a broken chair. "You're too late. You were always too late. MD." Pinned next to it, a child's drawing. This time it was a lake, and 2 stick figures, one larger than the other, both holding hands. As forensic teams scoured the cabin, a hidden compartment behind a cabinet was discovered. Inside was a locked steel case. The key was found under the floorboards. Inside, a passport, a burner phone, $8,000 in cash, and a medical record. It was recent, a pediatric file from a clinic in northern Montana. A boy, roughly 18 years old, with no listed parents. No school record, just a first name, D. Police rushed to the clinic, but the boy had checked out 2 weeks earlier. Surveillance footage showed him leaving with a man in a hood. But here's the twist. The boy didn't look afraid. He looked conflicted. He hesitated at the door, then looked back directly into the camera, as if he wanted to be seen. Was it Daniel? Had he grown up under Delaney's control, and now didn't know how to leave? Was it even a kidnapping anymore? Or something else entirely? The manhunt for Marcus Delaney intensified. The FBI raised the reward to $250,000. The case now spanned 3 states, and yet, just like in 1999, no one could find them. But authorities believe Daniel is alive, and he might be watching. So if you're out there, if you're hearing this, we're still looking for you, and we're not stopping this time. For more chilling true crime stories, hit the subscribe button.